In the present day, Windows 11, Microsoft's latest operating system, has been showing a downward trend. From July 2025 onwards, Microsoft's Windows 11 has been going lower and lower in market share. Windows 11 has been hated since its release for many things, including high system requirements, bloatware, and now AI being shoved down everyone's throats. But what if this is just groupthink? What if we have secretly been clowning on an operating system that's not as bad as the internet makes it seem? I'm 7Zeb, and this is why Windows 11 might not be the disaster everyone says it is. Before we continue, I just want to mention I'm not going to be defending Microsoft for their actions in this video. I don't think what Microsoft has been doing to Windows 11 has been good. I'm just here to tell you that Windows 11 isn't as bad as you think it is. With this out of the way, let's get started. If you think this is something new, that Windows 11 is the first of this disaster, you would be wrong. Very, very wrong. Let's take a trip back to 2007. The iPhone was first released, you were too broke to afford it, were using some random BlackBerry phone, and YouTube had released for the first time. On January 30th, 2007, Microsoft announced Windows Vista, and immediately people started hating on it. Driver issues, and more driver issues. People began spreading it to forums and telling their friends about it. And that's when people started hating Vista as a group. Most people hadn't even used Windows Vista. They just joined in because other people hated it. If you asked someone in 2007 if they would upgrade to Windows Vista, they would probably say, of course not. My friend said Windows Vista was terrible. I wouldn't want to use it. And that's exactly what people did. Windows Vista was hated and its market share never surpassed XP. It got so bad that Microsoft got sued by Diane Kelly for the Vista-capable branding. And Microsoft was hated by everyone. The Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death thing wasn't helping either. It got to a point where Microsoft had to do an experiment. The Mojave experiment. No, not the macOS version. But what happened was that Microsoft had called together some people to test something. They first asked a group of people that hadn't used Windows Vista what they thought of Vista, and most of them said Vista was a bad operating system.
I've heard about it.
I just heard negative things. I never tried it myself. I wouldn't touch the thing.
It's horrible. We have so many problems.
It crashes.
I've heard nothing but bad things about Vista, really.
I'd like you to rate your overall favorability of Windows Vista.
Okay.
Sheet of paper. Okay, so you gave Windows Vista a 0.
But then Microsoft gave them the new version of Windows.
Today, I'm going to show you a little bit about Windows Mojave, which is actually the newest version of Windows.
I want to see it. I want to see how it works.
Oh, yeah.
And they liked it.
Ow.
I like that security feature.
That's great. So, that's great.
I love gadgets.
Man, it's awesome.
Oh, what do you think of this new operating system?
Really cool. It's very impressive.
The speed is incredible, right?
I need an upgrade, and that looks like everything that I would need.
I would put this as a 10.
And then Microsoft revealed that this was just Vista. And people were shocked.
Alright.
Well, I have to confess to you, this is Vista.
Really?
Blew my mind.
Are you serious?
This is Windows Vista.
Son of a gun. Yeah, you got me.
I had no idea that you could do all this with Windows Vista.
It represents a lot of things that you could only dream of a few years back.
Actually, it's totally different than what I had heard it would be like.
I'm impressed.
I mean, it looks awesome. I mean, it just seems so easy.
I'm getting it.
I would say it's an awesome program, but you have to see for yourself.
If you still think Vista was the only other time this happened, you'd still be wrong. Let's now take a trip to 2012. Apple Maps was cursed, everyone was getting addicted to social media, and the iPhone 5 released. But on October 26, 2012, Microsoft released Windows 8. Now, when Windows 8 released, the same thing happened. People hated on it because it changed things. It had a new start screen and it got rid of the start menu. However, this again was groupthink. Many people never upgraded to Windows 8 and decided to just stay on Windows 7 or they switched to Linux.
I know some of you have all fled Windows for Linux because of Windows 8.
If you're still not convinced, let's go to 2015 now. Tesla started autopilot, the Apple Watch released, and the Nexus 5X was one of the best Android phones released. But on July 29th, 2015, Windows 10 released. Now you may be very familiar with Windows 10, and I'm pretty sure if you owned a computer before 2021 and it was on a Mac or you weren't using Linux, you tried Windows 10. However, when it first released, people didn't like it at all due to issues I will get into later in this video. But the point is, people stayed on Windows 7. It got to a point where Microsoft blocked Windows 7 updates on Intel 7th Gen and AMD Ryzen processors. The point is, this isn't new. This has been happening over and over again every single time. Every new version of Windows gets hated until the next one comes out. It's tradition at this point. Now let's talk about the real villain of the story. It's not Windows 11, it's not Microsoft, surprisingly. It's something that many people in the tech community have been ignoring for years now. The real villain is groupthink. Because here's the thing, many people don't really make an opinion about operating systems. They copy someone. If enough tech YouTubers and forum posts tell you that Windows ME was a good operating system, you would probably believe it. It's the same energy as Android users are broke, Chrome is the only good browser, and Windows 7 was the perfect operating system. These aren't opinions. They're memes disguised as opinions, and Windows 11 being bad became a meme. When someone says Windows 11 sucks, they don't ask why, they just go along with it. The point is, groupthink is powerful. It spreads more than facts. It's louder than any good thing, and it ruins everything. Always. And the funniest thing is, the people who now say Windows 11 sucks in 2026 said that Windows 10 was terrible when it first launched in 2015. But now they think Windows 10 is the good operating system. This is a cycle. This is a pattern. And it's why Windows 11 never even had a chance. Now it's time to talk about something that many people have forgotten. You were probably too distracted hating on Windows 11 to remember. Today you talk about how good Windows 10 was, how stable it was, how it worked just fine. However, if you actually used Windows 10 back in 2015, you would find that wrong. Very, very wrong. Windows 10 had problems. A lot of problems actually. So many problems that Triggersoul downgraded from Windows 10 to 7. Anyways, let's begin with the biggest problems. Forced updates. If you owned a PC back in 2015, or 2016 I guess like me, and it ran Windows 10, you remember doing your homework, playing games, or doing anything important. And then, right when you were about to get a win in a game or something, Windows would say, "You've got an update." And it got to a point where someone made an actual song called the Windows Update song. Then there was the telemetry issues. The fact that Microsoft wanted to track everything you do. Everyone called Windows 10 spyware. People were making videos on how to disable all the background services. It was crazy. And don't forget the UI inconsistency. There was 2 control panels, there still are. Half the settings in the news settings app, half the settings are in control panel, and half the time the control panel just opens settings. It feels like Microsoft duct taped the operating system together. Then we have broken updates. Every update would break something, just like in Windows 11. And last but not least, the ads. Yes, even back then, Windows 10 had ads. The Get Windows 10 full screen pop-up was really annoying, but now people think this is good. They think this is nostalgic. This is exactly what I said in part 2. People hated Windows 10 when it came out. Now they think it's the last good operating system. What really changed isn't the OS. It's just what Microsoft did from the years. The OS became more stable as the time went on, just like Vista did. However, the one difference is Vista never had a chance to fix its reputation. Windows 10 did. And the reason Windows 10 had time to develop a better reputation was because Windows 10 was out for much longer than Windows Vista without a new operating system. When Windows Vista released, the next operating system, Windows 7, only released a couple years after. However, with Windows 10, it took about half a decade later for a new operating system to release.
Okay, this is going to be the hardest part to record. I don't want to call out any tech YouTubers in this video. However, I've been starting to see a lot of these Windows 12 will be bad videos. But this is actually the key point whether Microsoft does release Windows 12. It could be today, it could be this year, next year, in a couple of years. Point is, it will probably release. Microsoft will release it and everyone will say Windows 11 is like Windows XP, saying that it had a nice UI or it was the last good version of Windows. And the funniest part is, that is the cycle. This is a pattern. This is exactly what happened with Vista, with Windows 8, with Windows 10, and now with Windows 11. When Windows 12 comes out, Windows 11 will magically become the good one. People will cling to it, but they'll refuse to upgrade. They'll say Windows 12 is too bloated, too different, too AI heavy, too whatever. And then, New Year later, Windows 12 becomes the good one, when Windows 13, or whatever comes next, will become the new villain. Nothing about the OS changes. People just hate change. Windows 11 isn't special. It's just the latest victim of a cycle that's been happening for 20 years. Now, I could do a whole video about people that criticize operating systems and then not know what they're talking about. And here's the thing I want to tell you. An operating system doesn't really mean that much. It's literally just an operating system. The fact that a lot of people actually get bullied because they use Windows 11 is just crazy. It's an operating system. People have their own preferences. It's not like an entire groupthink situation where you have to pick a side just because the public thinks that side is good. You can choose your own operating system. I'm not saying Windows is perfect. Windows has a lot of different issues. I'm not saying Linux is perfect. Linux also has a lot of issues. I just hate the people where in every single comment section they're just saying, oh, switch to Linux, all your problems will go away with Linux. I don't care. Some people think Linux will fix everything. No, it won't. Linux is not magically the best operating system. A lot of people can't use Linux because it's too hard for them to use. Their software isn't working, and even if Wine or other stuff exists, it's not like you're gonna get everyone to switch to Linux. It's just that people have their own preferences. So why are people doing it? It's just a group thing. So what does all of this mean? Windows 11 isn't perfect. It has problems, a lot of them. So, yeah. But it's not the worst operating system ever. The worst operating system ever isn't really determined by the public. It's determined by you and your own experiences. And that's basically the main point of this video. The thing is, Windows 11 might be a bad operating system for one person, but it also might be a good operating system for another person. And that's what we all have to think. Just like how Linux might be a good operating system for one person, but might be a bad operating system for another person. I know based on my experiences with Linux that I haven't really experienced Linux that well, and I didn't really like it as much. Now this may be because I'm an absolute idiot at using Linux, but it's my opinion. So with that in mind, at the end of the day, it's just an operating system. Thank you guys for watching. I'm 7Z, and I'll see you in the next video.
Stop.